Okay, so today we're talking about earnest money. What is it? How is it used? What happens to it during a transaction? And how does it impact you? So earnest money is literally the money that you show your earnest desire to purchase this property. You're basically saying to a seller, hey, here's some money that we're going to go set aside, kind of like a deposit, sitting in a bank account that only the closing agent has access to. And the reason why that closing agent has that is because they are a third party in between a buyer and a seller, okay? So they are a disinterested third party. That money will sit there. Yes, it does make some interest. However, the way the contracts are written is the interest gets paid to programs for the state of Washington that help with housing initiatives. So if you have more than $10,000, you can fill out a form to get the interest on that money. But typically, most sales take about 30 days. So the interest that would happen during that period of time is so nominal that it's actually more costly to do the paperwork and pay the fee for it than it is to just have it done. Now that's kind of an aside, but let's get back into really what earnest money is. So let's say you're writing your offer and you're trying to figure out how much do I put down for earnest money? Well, depending on the price point of the house, there's different ranges that people kind of get trained on in the industry. Sometimes you'll hear 1 to 3% is fine. When you get into higher price points or when you're in really competitive marketplaces, you might be 3 to 5% of the sale price. Some people will even go beyond a 5% amount because they're trying to show, again, they're earnestly wanting to buy this house. And so they're showing, hey, I'm willing to put this money at risk. Now, in our more extreme environment, right now, some people are actually releasing their earnest money to the seller in advance of the sale closing. There are some risks associated with that. If that is something that you're considering doing inside of your transaction, we need to talk, okay? We're not gonna get into that in this particular video, but generally speaking, that money goes to the closing agent, sits in their trust account, and just waits. Now that money is not above and beyond what you're already paying for the property. You might be, offering a particular amount. This is going to go towards your down payment and or your closing costs. Because again, everybody's financial situation is different. So let's say you put 5% in, but you're actually only putting 3% down as your down payment for your loan amount. So then some money would come back to you at closing or help cover your closing costs. So the money is sitting there safely, depending on your contract. If you have to cancel, let's say you have a financing contingency, something doesn't go through, you get your money back. Let's say you have a contract where there's an inspection contingency, something happens during that period, you can't come to terms with the seller, you can cancel, get your money back. Maybe it's at the end of the transaction, a seller changes their mind, you definitely get your money back. Let's say you're buying something in a homeowners association and there's a resale certificate review. You also get time to review those documents and make sure that there's not something that would be a problem for you, and you can cancel and get your money back. But here's the caveat on that. You have to follow timelines. Every contract has timelines. And if you don't follow your timelines, you lose the ability to get your money back. So it's worth it to take very close note of all the information we provide you once you get under contract, because it will tell you what contingencies you have, the timelines associated, and if you have earnest money there, that's where your risk factor is. You have to perform to your contract. If you have any other questions, just let me know over here at Team Reba, and we're happy to answer all your questions. Thank you.